So you literally feel like you're dying slowly.
Yeah.
And this is something that's supposed to be healing you.
Yes. Go grab life.
Yes!
Like reflecting back, I just cannot tell you how I did it, but I did it.
You did.
I used to go to work, but one thing I used to do is I used to listen to my body and
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another special edition of Dubai Diastories. My name is Yvette Kikuyu, your self-proclaimed capable host. On this platform, we aim to educate, empower, and entertain through life-changing, inspiring, thought-provoking, and reflective stories. First and foremost, again, I would never ever stop saying this. Unconditional love and thanks to everybody who has supported me, is aggressively helping me grow this ministry, sharing our stories, nothing but love. And for those of you who are watching without subscribing, I want to give you 15 seconds. Take your time. Just go back to the main screen if you're watching it on your TV. Just click subscribe. Do something good today. Plant a seed of good faith. You never know when you might need to harvest it. It helps us grow our ministry and helps people like you find us easily on the algorithm. Thank you. Today, this is a story of hope. This is a story that will transform. This is a story to let you know that giving up is not an option. A woman of valor, a woman of unfathomable faith, a woman who knew that whatever she was going through, she would go through. A warrior and a survivor. I don't want to give in too much into what we are about to share right now because I want you to experience it firsthand for yourself. Please, ladies and gentlemen, help me applaud Winey in the building because this is going to be one story. We all need it. A little bit of a hint. As you can see, we're all in pink. So stay tuned and let us just enjoy this beautiful testimony. Hi, Winey.
hi.
Welcome to my podcast.
Thank you so much.
Thank
I
you
love your energy.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. It takes one to know one. Right back at you. To be very honest, first of all, I think I wouldn't start this any other way but give utmost gratitude because, believe it or not, guys, we just met like 10 minutes ago.
True.
But the vibes have been eclectic.
Yes.
And you have a very inspirational story. And I wouldn't start this without acknowledging the one person who made our paths collide, which is Steph.
Hey,
Steph. Hey, Steph. Wherever you are, thank you very much. Everybody go and follow her page, Fragrances DXB and BO. You know, you got to smell good. Sense of smell is the one sense that we all have control over. So you cannot be smelling badly out here. Please plug yourself to Fragrances DXB and BO on Instagram. And as usual, we are fed and empowered and sponsored by the beautiful Chop House, who coincidentally matches our theme today, Winey.
Yes.
So special shout out to Chop House. Thank you so much to Tola, Maureen, and the team for believing in my vision and just supporting me through this endless journey. And that's it for housekeeping today. So today, I just want Winey to take this beautiful opportunity to share her story, to educate us, and to empower us and to inspire us. How are you, Winey? How's your week? I know it's only Monday.
It was good. I just had a little bit of a hiccup.
Okay.
I'm still going through a bit of riffraffs here and there.
Okay.
But I thank God that I made it here. And yeah.
I just have to say this before we go further. Your skin.
You're going to make me blush now. I like this.
Girl, it's glowing. It's
Thank
beautiful.
you.
It's flawless. And your height. Have you considered modeling?
I used to.
Okay. There's none of my guests who sat there and their legs have hit me. So clearly I've been interviewing short people.
Yes.
Or you are just vertically blessed.
You know the saying, my height, my attraction? Yeah. That's what it is.
I love it. I love it. Take up spaces. Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing. So do you want to give us a little bit of a background about you, who you are, before we just go into the essence of why we're here today?
Okay. I'm Winey Karaoke. I'm from Kenya. I came to Dubai in 2009. I still don't believe I say that.
Girl, it's very rare I find someone who came
my
around that time.
I still don't believe I say that because I remember, and I believe everybody who comes to Dubai, they say, I'm just here for like 3 years and I'll
Facts.
go back to
Facts.
my country. But 15 years later,
Speak on it, sis.
Oh my
Speak
God.
on it. Any other country would have been citizens, but hey, we are here.
But we don't complain.
We don't complain. I mean, there's a price to pay for the luxury,
Yes.
the safety, and the amazing lives we live.
Exactly.
Correct.
I remember that time when I came, I was just here to visit my sister on a visit visa. That time they used to just do 1 month visa. And I was very young. I think I was 19.
We came at the same age. Girl, considering Kenyan sisters, 19, 2009, I'm already feeling the spiritual connection. The stars have aligned. Okay.
Yeah. And she was like, why don't you try and find yourself a job? And I was like, yeah, why not? It was quite difficult because if you remember well, there was no metro.
Oh, yes.
So
only the
commuting
bus.
was...
My friend, I used to stay in Satwa and my first job was in Media City. Wow. The only thing I could take was an 8A. I used to pray the rosary 3 times and I still have not arrived to my destination.
I know.
You sleep, you wake up, you sleep. I had to go to the office and brush my teeth again because I'd caught a proper snooze on that bus.
Tell me about it. I remember also my sister telling me, because I used to tarmac. We used to call it tarmacking. She would tell me, wake up in the morning, take a bus. There was a place called, there was a cyber called Moha. That's where most people used to meet that were tarmacking.
Yes.
Yeah. And so I'll just walk. She used to live in Rashidia. So I'm just walking and I don't even know where's the bus stop. I'm still very new to the whole...
Was this your first time out of Kenya?
Yes. It was the first time.
International travels. Come on.
Oh my God. I was like, I cannot do this. So I go and it was very hot. So I'm in the bus stop and I'm waiting for the bus. She told me, I can't remember the bus number. And she's like, when you get in, do not get off until the bus is at the last stop, the bus station. Okay, so I get in. No, the first day, I just gave up. I couldn't find the bus. I didn't even know. I went back home. I was
Where
like,
am I
you know
going?
What? I can't do this. I went back home and she's like, why didn't you go? I was like, I couldn't find the bus. The bus didn't come. It's like, no. So tomorrow you have to do the same thing again. So I went, I got in the bus, and I remember she told me, get in and do not get off until you're at the last stop. Yeah, I'm sitting. I'm in Rashidia. I'm going to Deira.
Hey!
Okay, people come in, they go out. They come in,
They go out.
They come in,
They go out.
I'm still in. I'm like, okay. She told me,
Don't get out until the last stop.
Your last stop. Oh my God. I was like, no, I must be lost. But I was like, no. Winey, just wait. Okay. Eventually we got there and I'm in Deira and there's all these people. I don't even know where to go. I have to find this cyber called Cyber
Moha.
Yeah, that's where most Kenyans used to meet and like tell each other which jobs are hiring, when it's working.
When you go through the Gulf News newspaper.
Oh my goodness.
Do you remember those days? And print 10,000 CVs.
And we would follow each other in the bus
like a herd of
cows.
sheep. Yeah, I remember. And then there's always that one person who's richer than everyone who's like, let's go, let me buy you chai, let me buy you water.
Exactly.
You remember? And those samosas.
That was our survival mode. One
karak and one paratha.
Yeah.
You too?
Yes. Samosa even.
And it's samosa for beans. See samosa ya nyama. Sorry, it's not samosa for meat. It's samosa with dengu, beans and peas inside. Okay.
That was an experience and a half. And jobs were very scarce at that moment, if you remember.
I do.
I remember I came 3 times, coming back and forth, not having a job.
Wow.
Yeah. It was very, very, very challenging. And with the heat in Dubai, it's something new.
Correct.
Like coming back from Africa.
The culture, the food. I mean, the food is not so far apart, but the taste can never be the same.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
But one thing I'm grateful for is that I had my sister.
You had someone to hold your hand.
Exactly. Because there's people who have gone through worse, bed space.
Shout out, sis.
Yeah. So I was lucky. And she used to tell me, you really need to know how great, how lucky you are to be in a house where you have internet, you have food.
My friend, nilikulwa na kunguni. Nilikulwa na kunguni.
Nilikuja kujulia kunguni. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I came to...
Today you can see I have my Kenyan sister in the building.
Oh
so
goodness.
that we came to be eaten by bed bugs here.
Yes, I found out about bed bugs in Dubai. I didn't know about bed bugs.
I feel you.
And I have the blood for bed bugs.
It's the melanin,
oh
sis.
My goodness.
It's the melanin.
I have been to places where like people just live their life normally, but the moment I get in there, I'm like, no.
They're like, food is here.
Is biting me. Yeah.
Food is here.
It's insane. Anyway, long story short, I got was it no. Housekeeping.
Okay.
For like a week.
Okay. Housekeeping in a hotel?
Yes.
Okay. And where was this hotel, if you recall?
I can't even remember. I know it was somewhere in Dera, Rotana, something.
Okay. All right.
And I did it for 1 week. I used to commute from Rashidia. I think when I came back, because I came in March, and then I went back home. I came back again, I think mid-year, and then I went back again without a job. Then I came in September, and that's when the metro opened.
Aha, yes.
Yeah,
September 0909. Yes.
Yeah, we'll never forget that.
Hey, we'll never forget.
Yeah, so by the time I was now getting this hospitality job for housekeeping, at least there was a metro. So I used to commute from Rashidia all the way to Dera. And I used to take the metro and then get off, take a bus, take me to an Abra, pay the 1 dirham, cross over to Bar Dubai.
What? You even had the Abra experience?
Yes.
Girl.
That was my commute every day.
Girl.
It was insane. I will take the Abra, cross, take another bus.
And for context, for those people who don't know what an Abra is, please explain.
Abra is a tiny boat.
Adao. Yani boat ya mbao. Boat ya ukweli.
Yeah, so there's people sitting on this one side and the other on the opposite side, and there's the person in between who's controlling it, and you pay 1 dirham. So it takes you over the other side. And then from there, I will take a bus that will take me to Rotana.
Okay.
Get there and...
So sis, by the time you even get to work, you're
I'm
tired.
already exhausted.
You're done with the day.
It took me like 2 hours to get there. I'm already tired.
So you're working a 12-hour day.
Mind you, what is waiting for me? I have never done this in my life. This is now the beginning of life adulting out there.
That's the word.
Because I was in college. By the time I came here, okay, now this is where my life needs to begin. Girl,
speak on it. People think we pluck money from trees. People think like we're living the bougiest, sanest, richest, flawless life here. Please speak on it. Talk about humble beginnings.
Humble beginnings. And I'm sure we all have a story to tell. Our beginnings in Dubai. And this is what I tell people who come now and you expect to just land all this high-paying
microwave
jobs.
Generation.
Oh, my Lord. It doesn't work that way.
And you know, I realize those people who come and they immediately land high-flying jobs, they don't survive long.
Yeah.
Because they haven't gone through this process.
Yes.
So for us, even when things get tough, we have that spirit of resilience.
Yes.
We know, like, if I could survive when I was clueless, why should I start failing now?
Very true.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the first week it was tough. They put me on the linen counting. I don't know what that department was called. So you know how the people will like be cleaning rooms and they have all these linens and they throw them through the chute. So I'm the one who's there, who's waiting for all those sheets and towels and everything to come from the chute, and I'm counting them, and you have to like separate them. You separate the face towel, the pillowcase, the bed sheet, the duvet covers, and you have to count each and every one of them and put them in like a plastic
I've already
bag
been fired.
and load them.
I would never survive. It's okay.
And load them in a truck. You have to load them in the truck.
You load them in a truck.
Me.
You.
Okay, I'm doing it. They didn't even give me a mask. I didn't even have
I can
gloves
imagine
on.
the quality, the dirt, and then they were all white, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, it's all
I
white.
would
It's
go
a hotel.
colorblind because like that's like seeing the same color on repetition.
And you can imagine what happens in hotel.
Ooh, say less. Okay, fine. I've gotten the hint.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I just couldn't survive. Luckily, they moved me now to like the housekeeping stuff where I clean rooms.
Okay.
So I was shadowing one guy. And I realized later on, I think I was the only lady. Most of them were
men.
Yeah. So they would give each one like 16 rooms to clean in a day. The easy part is the one where you have to clean rooms where there's already guests staying in.
Really?
But,
I thought that would be harder.
The harder part is where you have to clean a room that's a checkout. Because you have to make it spotless clean for the next customers.
Okay.
My goodness.
Oof. And do you have a time limit of how fast you should clean the room?
Yeah, you have to finish those 16 rooms by the time your shift is ending. So these people used to even not go for their breaks just so they could finish these rooms.
Oh, my goodness.
Then think of me. I'm already 2 hours from my house.
Done.
I'm already done. And I remember walking into one room and I just stood there and I was frozen. And I'm like,
this can't be life.
Yeah, we have to clean this room and make it spotless. Yeah. There was, I think, I'm not sure what nationality was in that room. There was like...
And no disrespect, like there would be a difference in terms of hygiene at the Burj Khalifa in comparison to a hotel in Deira.
It felt like there was a tornado in that room. I swear to God, tables were like upside down.
What?
I just didn't get it. And you have to make that room. You know how you walk in a hotel and you're like, wow, you have to make it that
Spick and span.
Yes. And there will be someone to come after to check, like to make sure there's
Inspect.
no like, even the taps, they have to be sparkling.
First of all, I would have been fired because even in high school, remember how in high school we had those morning chores?
Yes.
And then the head girl will come and walk over your work and say, oh, clean this again. I already have trauma from that.
Oh my God.
So I don't know how you did it.
I didn't did it.
You
I will be honest. So that one whole week, so you can imagine what I had to go through cleaning all those rooms. And even I had to sacrifice my breaks so that I could just be with this person I was shadowing to make sure that we finished the rooms by the time the day is ending. Every time I go back home, remember I have to go back through this
Abra, boat.
No, bus,
Abra,
bus, boat. No, sorry. Bus,
okay.
Abra, bus, metro.
Oh, God.
And then I could either walk to my sister's house or take a bus. By the time I get home, I look like a chicken that has been rained on. We say, literally. If you know, you know.
Dubai. That's the funny part.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
I told my sister, you know what? If this is the life in Dubai, I can't. Let me
done.
just go back home.
It's okay.
I am done.
I was not suffering like this. It's okay.
I am done. The salary.
Hey, we didn't even go there yet.
Do you want to know how much?
Hey, hit me with the number. Shock me.
It's not even 4 digits. Is it 4? No. 3. 800.
What?
Yes.
What?
800 dirham.
6 days a week.
Yes.
1 day off.
800 dirham. And imagine the amount of work. That was 2009. 800 dirham.
What? And it's not like 800 dirham now where it's 43 to the Kenyan shilling. Yeah. That time Kibaki, may his soul rest in peace, my favorite president, was 19 dirhams.
Exactly.
So even if you think you're sending money...
Imagine. 19 and now we're at 40.
Yes. Anyways, story for another day.
Yeah. Anyway, God, who is God? I just said a prayer. I said, God, you know what? I just can't do it.
I forgot to ask you one question. So when Winnie was coming here, of course, you have this beautiful vision and you're lucky you have the foresight and example of your sister.
Yeah.
What was your dream? What did you see yourself doing when you came to Dubai?
My dream job was to become Emirates cabin crew.
Girl, I was actually just going to say you are the spec. You fit it to the T.
That's what I knew I was coming to Dubai to do. And I cannot even tell you how many interviews I went to for this job, but God always has plans for you. You might think you have it all figured out, but no.
I have a very interesting Emirates cabin crew story.
Yeah.
Can I share it with you?
Yeah, of course.
So I was staying in a bed space as well in 2008, and we also had a cyber cafe in Satwa that we all used to go to. Yeah. Then there was this one lady who was working in a high-end store. I think she was working in Lipsy or something. So they used to get a higher pay grade in comparison to the rest of people who are working for... Who owns Centerpoint? I've forgotten. Yeah, they have a high... I think it was under Shalhoub. Shalhoub pays better than Landmark. Landmark is the company I was looking for. So she had a laptop. So she used to charge us to use her laptop when she's not using it she would give it to us. So I applied, I submitted everything because I had to go. The studio, my photos were not ready. So I had to go and pick them up. When I came back, the Kasaiba had already closed. So I went home and I was like, I need to upload these pictures to complete my application. I did everything, submitted everything through her laptop. Remember, she's charging us 10 dirhams for 30 minutes on her laptop. Fun story. I logged into my email. I never logged out. Winnie, tell me why I did this in 2009, around September. 2010, maybe like July, August, I finally settled. I've started my life here in Dubai, moved from Satwa to Discovery Gardens. I'm checking my email, and in my spam messages, junk folder actually, I'm seeing my invitation to Emirates. Oh, wow. This girl deleted my invitation.
No way.
I didn't go for my interview.
But why?
Jealousy. I don't know what else can explain it.
Did she even know you?
We were just staying in the same bed space. But I think one of my strengths is also my weaknesses. I have a very big personality. And sometimes I can suck the energy in a room and it intimidates people who are not self-aware. And in situations where I shrink myself, I hate myself for it. So now I'm just like, take it or leave it.
Yeah.
It's your tough pill to swallow, not mine, So I think that because now people are warming up to me. And I remember when I had to go and do my visa change, was around November, and I came back. And then I brought for everyone rugby T-shirts. So we all went like our whole bed space. So I was the first body of the bed space. And before she was the first body because she used to charge people for the laptop.
Yeah.
So I think the fact that I sucked her energy, she hated me for that.
Yeah.
She deleted my invitation. Anyways, continue.
Where was I?
Yes. So now you've come back. You wanted to be Emirates cabin crew.
Yeah. I mean, that was the first. That's the one thing I knew. If I go to Dubai, this is what I want to be. This is what I want to do. That was not the case. Anyway, so I told my sister, like, I cannot do this hospitality thing anymore. It's just not for me. I'd rather just go back home and just continue with my diplomas.
Okay.
And then, like a week before my visa expired,
Okay.
I got a strange email. I'm not even sure how I applied for this job. Those days
you applied for 1,000.
Yeah, so
you dropped your
wouldn't even
CV
know.
everywhere.
Exactly, and it was an agency, and agencies you're not 100% sure
Correct.
who's
They're
genuine,
very dodgy.
who's not. Yeah,
True.
So I ignored it, but I think they sent me an email again saying that we sent you an email to do this job interview and blah blah blah. So I was like, okay, let me just reply. It will not hurt me.
No harm.
Yeah, no harm. And they called me for an interview. I remember going. Now I was left with 2 or 3 days before I could exit. I had already extended my visa, so it was like 3 days, and then I have
that
to go
anxiety.
back. Yeah. So I went for the interview. It was a very posh place. It was a really God works in mysterious ways.
You're looking at the hotel, you're working, you're looking here, and you're like in this same Dubai.
Exactly. So I went, and they were like, okay, we did the interview, and they told me to go for what do we used to call it? A trial. So the moment they tell you go for a trial, that's like a chance you maybe got the job. So I went for the trial for a day, and I can't remember quite well after how long they told me I got the job.
Okay.
But it was before I exited Dubai. So I knew I'm going back home with a job.
Praise God.
So I was like, okay, now I'm going back home. So what do I do with the visa and all of that? Medical said, you don't worry. We'll send you everything when you're back home.
Okay.
So I went home. And without being stressed, knowing that, okay,
I have a job.
Exactly.
Yes.
And at least I will enjoy Christmas with my family back home.
Beautiful.
And New Year's, and then come back home. Those days, it was so difficult to get visas because they had like age limits. You had to be 26
I had
something.
It was 24, then 21.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was going to be working in a restaurant lounge kind of nightclub. I was still not 21, and they're going to be serving alcohol. So I did my medicals back home and everything.
I say God is the master planner. But you see the devil.
Yeah.
That guy works overtime. That guy is a hard worker. When you're just on the precipice of your blessing.
He just tries to.
Toop.
Yeah, but no. Anyway, my visa was being rejected. Once, twice, thrice. Then I was like, you know what? I'll just stay home and I'll just finish my
I'll figure
diploma
it
and
out.
stuff.
Yeah.
But my mind was already set to
You
be
had,
in
you had already
Dubai.
been exposed.
Yeah.
You had already seen what the world had to offer.
Yes.
Settling back felt like you were punishing yourself.
Yeah. And I was already through so much, you
True.
know?
Like,
And
what was that for?
yeah, no. So I was not ready to give up. So I told my sister, just get me another 1 month visa. I'll come back and I'll start from scratch. I'll start tamaking again.
Okay.
I was not up to the idea, but like, it is what it is.
What to do?
So I came back, and then when I came back,
At least now you know what to expect.
Yes, but now it was even more harder because that time as Kenyans, we needed a degree to get a job.
Yes, I remember that time. I remember that time. Someone came and messed us up.
Yeah.
There was an oil deal that went rogue, and they said for Kenyans who are renewing their visas, if you don't have a degree, they will not renew it.
Yes.
I remember. Ooh,
was-
I do.
it was
And
crazy.
please, you see all these people I've been interviewing who are self-employed. We had Eric, we had Flair by Winey last week, some of the best performing episodes. There was nothing like freelance visa. You had to be either under your husband
Yeah.
or under employment.
Yeah.
Continue.
So I came back and again start from scratch, but at least here that I know I have the metro to like help me with the
Correct.
commute compared to before.
Your sister is still in Rashidi at this point?
Yes.
Okay.
Because it was in 2010.
Okay.
11.
Yeah.
Anyway, I came back and I'm there again, job hunting in the sun, hopping from bus to another, metro to another. And then remember this job that I told you
Yes,
I got,
yes, the one you were
and then
underage.
my visas were being rejected and stuff. So one day I was going for an interview at Wafi Center, and the
Wafi.
devil just tries you every single day. That day I forgot my phone in the taxi. Okay, I get to my destination, I go to the interview place. Thankfully, I met a Kenyan lady there.
Oh, bless.
And then I realized I don't have my phone. So I said, oh my God, can I please have your phone so I can call to see if I can get it back? And Dubai being Dubai,
Safest country, man.
Yeah.
Safety, paramount.
I called and the taxi guy picked up. He was dropping someone somewhere and he was like, it's okay. Once I drop this person, I will bring it back to your
bless
destination,
him.
But he will just run the meter.
Okay.
The money I have is the pocket money for my transportation. Oh, God. Okay?
So this is a cost that you did not expect.
Yeah. But thankfully, he came, he dropped the phone, and I think I didn't have enough because the amount I had was just to help me commute the bus from Wafi to Rashidi or whatever. But this Kenyan lady, I think she gave me some 10 dirhams or something.
bless
and
her
I paid because also I had to give this guy some tip
True.
for coming back all the way. Yeah.
True.
Got my phone, I went for the interview. And then obviously they asked for the degree and I'm there stressed thinking, oh my God, how is this going to work out? So now I'm going back home, I'm walking, I'm heading to the bus stop to take the bus to take me to, I think, the metro back home.
Okay.
And then I receive an email.
Okay.
Thank God I have my phone.
Thank God.
Is it an email or a call? Guess who it was? The company that I had the job
The
with.
agent.
Yes.
The posh one.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
They called me and they're like, hi, Winey, this is so and so and so. We just want to find out if you're still interested with this job.
Oh, wow.
Girl, thinking that I'm here tamaking again under that sun. And then they called me and asked me, am I interested? Are you crazy?
Are you mad?
Are you
I mean, is Ashton Kutcher going to jump and say
Oh
you're
my
being punked?
goodness. I
Of
said,
course I'm
"Yes,
interested.
Of course I am interested." And that was the end of me tamaking. The CVs I had, I just
You're like,
off.
never again.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm done with you. I
Yes.
threw them in the bin and I went to that bus stop and I cried. I cried thinking, God, if I didn't have my phone, if this taxi guy had not brought back my phone, okay, maybe I would have received the email on the computer or something. But thank God I had the phone and I received this call and I saw
A call that changed your life.
changed my life. Yeah.
Yo.
Anyway, I went home, I told my sister, and that is how my life began in Dubai. I went to this workplace, and we had one of the best. I would say I was very lucky to have such a job as a first-timer in Dubai, because that job made me who I am today, honestly. I think I had to go through those teeny tiny jobs, like the housekeeping one, to really understand how it is out there. but I was really lucky to land.
And there were a lot of horror stories back then.
Yes. My pay was 800, but that workplace I started with, I think, 1,200, but everything included was about 3,000.
Okay.
But then I grew I started as a food runner. I didn't even know what a food runner was.
I don't know what a food runner is. Educate me.
A food runner is someone who like runs food to different tables. You know, when you go to a restaurant, you have these people coming with a tray to drop down the food. Yes.
Okay,
So we'll just
got
be
it.
there in the kitchen waiting for the chef to tell you, pick up, you pick the food and you drop
Got
in
it.
different tables.
Got it.
Or you
Got
take
it.
to the waiter
Then takes to the table.
Yeah.
You've educated me. Thank you. Okay.
We all learn something.
True.
Yeah, so I worked there for like 4 years, and then I just couldn't do hospitality anymore. You know, if you have been in hospitality, you know how it can be. There's no life.
True.
You just work. In short,
True.
Dubai, if you don't spare the little time to just try and live your life, it is.
Life will fly.
Yeah, you just sleep, wake up, work, sleep, wake up, work, sleep, wake up, work.
True. Repeat.
Yeah, I just couldn't do hospitality anymore, and I told God, you know what? It's either you give me that cabin crew job I want, or give me an office job. I stayed home for like 5 months without a job, but
5 months here with your sister or in Kenya?
at that time I met my husband, who I am with right now.
Some romance.
See, I found my husband in that that job.
Girl,
yeah.
Rab, let me touch my hand for blessings because I need a husband in my life. Touch my hand for blessings. Thank
Bless
you.
bless you.
Thank you.
So yeah, this place that I'm saying changed my life is the same place where I found my husband.
Okay.
And yeah, so at that time we were living together. I was there for I stayed home for 5 months. I was on husband's visa. Then I said to God, I cannot do it anymore. And I had this one prayer, like, God just waits until you are at the edge. And he knew that the cabin crew job was not for me, so he blessed me with an office job. I did. It's been 15 years. I have been through so many industries.
That you have range.
Yeah. So I have been in
Hospitality.
and then I got an office job for 1 year. From there, I moved to aviation. Aviation, I moved to... No, before aviation, I was real estate. For 1 year, and then I moved to aviation, and then I moved to retail, where I am right now.
Okay. Nice. Those are very different industries.
Yeah.
I've been in technology all my life.
Oh, wow.
Technology SaaS, but recruitment, then insurance, then healthcare. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Anyway, I would write a book if I
You should,
tell
girl.
my Dubai story.
You should.
Yeah, and that is me, and this is where I am now. So, to the topic of the day.
To the topic of the day.
We are in October, which is Pinktober, and that touches me in a very big way. I don't even know how to tell the story of
You can
how...
start from the time or the day or the year
Okay.
when you first land. Take your time.
Let me start by saying that in whatever you're going through, just know that God always has a plan. He always does. In that moment, you will be questioning, saying, God, why this? Why me? Why this time? Because if I tell you how I am where I am now, during COVID, I lost my job with aviation.
The most affected sector.
Yes, I lost my job in aviation. I had just given birth to my second baby. And that is when I had the questions to God, like, why now? I just had my baby. And, like, how am I supposed to move forward? My son was supposed to start school in September. It was insane. And I was working, I'm not going to mention the companies.
Okay.
I was working at the same company with my husband.
Okay.
And so he was also at risk of losing his job. So it was a 50-50, like we didn't know where...
Every day was a gamble.
Every day was a gamble. Every single day.
Oh, my goodness.
And just to think that they had to be under his visa. And the act of not knowing where you will be the next day was insane.
Anxiety Pro Max.
Anxiety Pro Max. Yeah. But God was with us. He didn't let my husband lose his job, but I was there. I would say it was kind of a blessing for me because with my firstborn, my son, I only had 2 months to spend with him. So at least with my second
That is
baby,
such an unreason. Anyways, let's not go into that. Thank God we didn't mention the names. Okay, good.
yeah. So at least I had time to spend with my daughter.
Oh, bless.
Yeah.
And she's adorable.
Thank you.
She's
My
adorable.
goodness,
She's a
terrorizing
ball
us
of
right
energy.
now.
She's a diva. Like you can literally feel her energy through your pictures.
That's my mini me.
Oh, bless.
Yeah, so I believe God made that happen because it was a tough 1 year. Really, really tough. I'm there. I just had my second baby. We had to let go of my nanny because I'm home now. I don't have a job. We cannot afford to pay the nanny. Plus, the company was already paying 50% salary. So we were, I don't even know how we survived, but we did. I managed to open 2 businesses.
Bravo.
I started a personal shopping experience.
Okay.
I tried to make ends
meet. Yes.
Yeah. And I remember the second one was carrot cake business. When I was pregnant, it was during COVID, and there's one time I really craved. Yeah, I craved for carrot cake so badly, but there's shutdown everywhere. And there's nowhere to get this carrot cake. And you know when you're pregnant, if you want something, you want something.
My friend, there's a day my friend booked and paid for someone a ticket to bring for her Fanta Blackcurrant.
What?
Yes, she was like, if I don't get, I will die. Her husband is like, do you have a cousin who can bring it? Because now what do I do?
Yeah, if you want, you want it. So I baked one, and in the beginning, I don't know what I made. I just made something. But I went on YouTube, and I found the recipes, and I became good at it.
Okay, you owe me carrot cake.
No, I will bake it.
Thank you.
But
it's okay.
It's been a while.
No, I'm a sweet tooth. Trust me, and that will make me feel like I'm having a healthy snack.
Yeah. It's my sister-in-law says, I don't know how you can have a cake that has a vegetable in it. It's like, just have the damn carrot cake and stop complaining. I'm sorry, Maria. Anyway, and I started making business out of it. I became so good at it, and I actually really liked my own carrot cake.
Aww.
So I was doing carrot cakes, and I was doing the personal shopping. Yeah, I don't know how I did it, honestly, because one, my daughter refused to take the bottle. So it took, I can't tell you how infuriating that was, but I survived.
Look at you now.
And then I was referred to the retail company to try and get in the job. And long story short, I got hired as I got it as a part-time job for 6 months. And then
there's only one company that hires people part-time before they retain you. So I think I know which company it is.
Okay.
Yes.
That one, whichever it is, that one. So I did a part-time for 6 months, and I was hired full-time 6 months after that. And who is God? God had a plan. Now when I think of it, he had a plan all through.
That's why they say hindsight is perfect vision.
Yes. He had to put me in that situation where I had to struggle for that 1 year because, believe you me, it was tough to be a stay-at-home mom, to be a housewife, to try and be
personal
an entrepreneur.
shopping, and then a baker.
It was insane.
And then there was another, sorry to cut you short, there was another weird pressure during that season of side hustle is not a luxury anymore. Everybody needs a side hustle. Everybody needs something that gives you passive income.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, God. And then all these crypto boys and people are like, oh, I made 10 million. I made this. And you're like, are people pricking this luck on trees? Where do I sign up?
Anyway, so when I got my full-time job, 6 months after that, I was already going through 2 years before that, in 2019, I found I had cysts in my breast. They felt like small little stones. There were quite a few, but everyone would say, I'm sure it's nothing. It's just something that is there in women and stuff.
True.
And then later on, I found a lump, but then I was still questioning because I used to think it's just like, it was that time I used to feel pain on the right breast. So I used to think it's because of my periods.
Does it get intense towards your period?
Yeah, it used to. But still, even after my periods, I would still feel pain on my right breast. So I decided I need to go to like just do an ultrasound just to find out what's going on. And the doctor at that time, she referred me to a surgeon because she is not specialized for that. So I went and saw a surgeon, and she was like, it's 3 centimeters, so we need to do a surgery for that. And just me being me, that time I just didn't really, I would say lack of awareness is really, really bad. Because I was just going with the flow. Okay,
Yeah.
doctor says, let's go remove it. Okay, let's go. We removed it. They did a test of the lymph node. It was quite big. It was not a lump. It was a lymph node. And we all have lymph nodes.
Yeah,
under our
like
arms.
the sweat glands, around the sweat glands as well.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah.
Your lymphatic system.
Yes.
That's why lymphatic drainage massage right now is such a big thing, because it helps you detox.
Yeah. So they removed it and they did a test, and at that time there was nothing like to worry about, nothing suspicious. So they gave me some supplements to take that would shrink down the cysts. Then 6 months later, I got pregnant with now my daughter,
Princess.
Yeah, and I never really went back for like a follow up with my doctor or anything. And even with the reports, I didn't really read to understand like, what did they
I've taken my
find?
medicine, I'm better. Okay, next.
Yeah, and I did surgery. They removed it. I'm okay. As long as I'm not in pain,
True.
I'm fine.
It's that weird comfort zone where it's like what you don't know won't
and
hurt you.
that is where we fail. That is where you fail. Just like when you have a flu, you take medicine. Oh, I'm not coughing anymore.
You quit the antibiotics on the second day. I'm good.
That is where we go wrong. So I got pregnant. I delivered my baby. I'm still moving on with my life. And then I didn't even realize like what was going on, or I should have gone back for the test until later on, like when now my milk was already like disappearing. How do you say it?
Yeah. You had stopped. Your lactation had
Lactating.
stopped.
Yeah, she was still breastfeeding, but I didn't have as much milk as before, so I could feel my breast. Yeah. So one time as I was showering, I felt the same place where I had the surgery. I could feel like a hard thing again. But me, I'm just like, what is this? Okay. So days go by, up until I realized this thing keeps growing. So every time
was it external, like you could see it, or it was inside you?
It was inside.
Okay, but you could feel it.
I could feel it, but it got to a point where I can now see it. I could see how it was getting
like,
bigger and bigger and bigger.
For something that is growing, it always has like that throbbing feeling.
I didn't have anything. Okay. You know, even that feeling I had in the beginning before my surgery, I didn't have.
You didn't have it?
No pain, no nothing. I just feel something. It's big, it's growing, and that's it. So I'm just there. I live my life every day knowing I have something, but I'm not even paying attention to what's really happening. Until now, when I got my job and I had the insurance, I decided I just really need to go back.
Winey, let's get serious.
Yeah, because I didn't really go back for my follow-up after the surgery. So I have to, because by the look of things. But all along, I didn't think of anything big.
Yes, correct.
So I went for the ultrasound. We went for holiday. I came back. I told my husband I have to go to the doctor. At least now I have a stable job. I have insurance. I can go and get myself checked. So I went to the hospital. I did an ultrasound. And all along, I'm just like doing normal procedure. I don't have any weird thoughts running through my head. And then, so from the ultrasound, the radiologist told me we have to schedule you for a mammogram and a biopsy. Still,
nothing.
Nothing.
Just like, okay.
But I realize now, with all that I know, the moment they tell you they need to do a biopsy or a mammogram, be worried. Okay. So when I went for the biopsy, I remember I was with my friend and we were in hospital. We were busy going live on Instagram, saying hi to people, just silling around. Little did we know, Winey, you don't know what's awaiting you. I did the biopsy. I've never experienced a biopsy before. It was quite painful after.
What is it like? Like they get a needle and then they stick
Yeah,
it there?
So they around that mass,
Yeah.
it's like a gun, they shoot it inside, but they use anesthesia. So you don't feel the pain in that moment, you feel it later. So they shoot inside and they pull off a sample, which comes off like a grated carrot. And they put in a liquid inside, and then they take it for
The lab.
pathology. Yeah.
Okay.
So I did the biopsy. I went back home and I continued with my life. And then they called me and they were like, Winnie, we got your reports. You need to come and see your doctor. All along, I'm like, okay, fine. We will go and she will tell me the same thing they told me last time. The mass is big because they say if it's more than 3 centimeters, they need to
operate. Yeah. Same
So
thing because I
knew.
have PCOS.
Yeah.
So I always go for my paps to get checked. And they're like, okay, it's 0 point something 3M. It'll either flash out with your menses, but please keep coming frequently, especially considering I haven't had kids yet.
Yeah. Yes, so I went, I saw the doctor. Now when I was going for my reports, I'm just going like a normal person would. I didn't think of going with anyone because I didn't think I would go to get the news I was about to get. And so I woke up, I dressed up. I remember the night before preparing my clothes for the mornings because I didn't want to start. You know, as women, you want to look good.
As usual,
yeah. So I got my clothes ready, and I will always remember this day. I remember I took a selfie. So I went to the hospital, and I remember as I waited for...
What year is this, just for context?
What year are we now?
2023.
That was last year.
Okay.
Last year, June 27th.
I hate that number 27, by the way.
Yeah?
My mom died September 27th.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
So as I was waiting, I was feeling some...
Butterflies. Woozy,
Yeah.
anxiety.
I don't know why. I was just feeling some weird sensation, but I just didn't think of the worst. So I walked in, they called me, the doctor is there. She was a she. She had the paper with her, and she was like, oh, Winnie, we did the test, and this. And she just didn't beat about the bush.
Oh, God.
Because then the moment she starts beating about the bush,
Yeah,
she will
you
start...
get more anxious. And also, besides that, as someone who has been in medicine before, and I say this with utmost respect, not in a derogatory term, some doctors can be very emotionally autistic.
Yeah.
They lack high levels of EQ. Maybe now, a couple with the emergence of social media, they have to know public speaking and everything.
Yeah.
But they're very driven by the science, not by the art of connection. Yeah. So she went straight to the point.
Straight to the point. We got your report and you have cancer. Okay. Excuse me?
Are you sure it's me, Winnie? Are you sure it's me, Winnie? Like, or have you mixed up the reports? Like, I would have told them, do it again.
I was like, you are joking, right? And she just stared at me, and I'm staring at her, and I'm trying to understand, like, what's happening? Mean I have cancer? It's like, okay. You know the feeling when you're underwater? You can hear people talking, but you don't know what they're saying.
It's like you've zoned out into a different
zoned
unit.
out. I just...
And you were alone, Winnie.
I was alone. I didn't expect I was going to get such news.
I know.
And I'm here sitting, you're telling me I have cancer. You know what you're talking about. You're talking about...
Do you know how...
And coming where we're coming from, Africa, we have this mentality of the story behind cancer. Yeah.
It's, God forbid, it's a death sentence.
It's a death sentence. I knew I'm dead.
Jesus.
I have cancer. I am dead. This is the end. And my life changed from that moment onwards. She was there. She was talking. I don't know what she was talking about, but she was talking about things. But I'm just trying to process. Like, it just
you know what you've just told me?
It didn't make sense. I was laughing. I swear. I was laughing.
How? When?
How can it me?
How?
Where? How? No, it cannot. Nope. Cannot. Yeah, so it took me a few minutes to process it, and still I just couldn't process it because my whole, like, I don't know, I just shifted to a different, I don't know, I can't even explain it. And she asked me to call someone. I couldn't think of anyone. My husband was on a long flight. I don't want to bother people. So I tried to call my sister-in-law. She was making her hair, I remember. And she knew that I was going through this test and stuff. I'm a very open person. A lot of people knew that I was going for my ultrasound. I remember I used to tell people, "Do you want to feel my cyst?" And I will let them touch it. And be like, "Oh my God, Winey." But for me, it's just...
Yeah, you're not overthinking
Yeah.
it.
So I called her and she told me I'm making my hair, and I was like, okay, I hung up. And then I think she realized, like, okay, I need to call her back. So she called me. She was like, where are you? I'm in the hospital. Okay, I'm coming. So she stopped making her hair and she came, and she tried to really be strong for me. And the doctor had to, like, explain what has to be done next. Everything had to happen so fast. So she explained everything to her, and I'm just there. She gave me coffee. She gave me cookies. The bin that was right next to her was, by the time I was leaving that room, it was full of tissues. Because of how I cried, I was on the floor. I went to the bathroom. I cannot even explain to you what it is I felt at that moment. And then now it's time to go home. I don't know how to face my kids. I don't know how to break it down to my family, because this is not
Like
something
we have
from
just
the
picked
ordinary.
up from the disaster that was the pandemic. Like, can't life cut me a break?
Yeah.
Can't I just live my Dubai dream in peace? What is this?
And my mom already was going through her own phase. She was undergoing through surgery. So I just didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. I don't know how to handle myself and how to break. Like, it was just all so overwhelming for me, but things had to get done. I had to meet my oncology at that moment. I didn't even know who an oncology was.
Yeah.
So the next...
You know, we always think like a doctor is a doctor.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know there's specializations in medicine.
Yeah. So I met the oncology. I went with my sister-in-law. I knew not to go alone because for sure there's no way I would have...
Can we just pause there and take a break and mention how community in the diaspora is not a given.
Yeah.
It is a relationship that you have to water, invest in. It's not like back home where people visit people unannounced.
Yep.
I was in the area, I passed by.
Nope.
Here, friendship is something that you have to be deliberately intentional about.
Exactly.
And before you find someone who understands you for who you are, or values you or sees you the way you present yourself, without the assumption, without the competition, without the I'm doing better than yourself. That's why I would understand you when you said the first time you went on your own, because you didn't want to bother anyone.
Yeah. And this whole journey has really opened up my eyes to know who is true and who's not. Because then you see the true colors of people.
Behind all that glitz and glam.
Yeah.
There's the hashtag friends. Exactly. There's the brunch friends. There's the shopping and good vibes and selfie friends. There's the comments friends. I normally say in Dubai has taught me how to actually categorize my friends. And I use the tree analogy. A tree will have so many leaves, but there's a reason why leaves fall.
Yeah.
Easily.
Very true. They shed.
Less branches in comparison to the leaves. Branches break.
They do.
But even the biggest tree on this world has very few roots. So know who your roots are.
Yep.
I categorize my friends and I tell them, you're a leaf, you're a branch. I know my roots.
Yeah, very true.
Roots stand the test of time. Roots hold you when you can't even hold yourself.
Yeah.
And don't blame people for being leaves and branches. Maybe they don't know better. And it's not your job to let them find out. They'll find out at their own pace. Okay.
Anyway, where was I?
You were like your sister, the oncologist.
So he was explaining my treatment plan because and I came to realize there's a lot of diagnoses when it comes to breast cancer. So I was diagnosed as HER2 breast cancer stage 2.
Okay.
So one thing is And I think it's just by God's grace that I had that opportunity to go and get tested and catch it at a very early stage. Because God forbid if I had not yet got this job that had the insurance, I would not have had that opportunity to go and get tested because I didn't have the insurance.
True.
And you can imagine how expensive it is in UAE to do this test.
Oh, oncology is not one of when I was working in healthcare. Forgive me for this. When I was working in healthcare, one of my biggest clients was an oncology center. I'll actually give them a shout out because I've never seen a healthcare facility that puts heart and soul into healthcare.
Yeah.
And I used to work for a healthcare review platform, and you would see the length of reviews like an epistle. And you're thinking, these are people who are battling cancer and actually have time to write this.
Yeah.
There's definitely something these people are doing right. So shout out to you, Rima, and the team at Advanced Care Oncology Center. You guys are doing something different. I just had to put that in there.
Yeah. So he had to explain my treatment plan according to my diagnosis. So I was going to have to go through chemotherapy, 6 sessions, radiotherapy, 28 of them, and surgery.
28.
Yeah. So I'm there and I'm just listening to him. And I'm just trying to gather everything together, thinking that this is something that I'm going to have to go through. And it's not something that I watch on TV, because this is things I have watched on TV. I never really had a close family member that I have experienced this whole journey with. My auntie, yes, did pass away from breast cancer, but I was young. I was like 9 or 10, so I really didn't know how it was. And he's there explaining the side effects, and I'm just thinking that this is what I'm going to have to go through, and I just had to come to terms of the road I'm about to hit.
God.
Yeah. He gave me options and like ways of how to overcome it, but I was still in denial. Like, it cannot be happening. Everything had to happen really fast. As much as I really wanted to like have another opinion just to make sure that, okay, I really have cancer.
At that point you were like, should I really get this second opinion before they come and tell me something else?
Exactly. But I trusted the doctors. I was in one of the best hospitals, so they cannot just misdiagnose me.
Facts.
So I went ahead. I had to do a small procedure to like insert a podcast. It's right here on my chest. It's they use it for treatments, for chemotherapy and other drug treatments. I still have it, but now since I'm done with treatment, they will remove it for my next surgery.
Okay.
It's minor. It's not very painful. They just cut. I know. I
mean, it's how you can tell this story now with
I honestly, I cannot even tell you where I got that strength from.
I'm trying to imagine.
I still don't understand. Most of the times, I'm like, what just happened? What just happened? So then they inserted it, and I started my chemo, and I remember being terrified for that first session.
I hear it's cold. That fluid enters your body, you feel like you've been put in an ice bucket.
It's different.
Okay.
For me, I didn't feel that because there's a lot of treatments. I remember not knowing one that's called the Red Devil, but because it's red, but I didn't have that. But I remember going to work because after I was diagnosed, I still had to try and continue with my normal life because my doctor told me the one thing that's going to heal you, it's your mindset. Your mindset is the number one thing that will take you out of this.
It's true. The mind is the dime.
Yeah, you have to have those positive thoughts and positive energies. It is difficult. I just didn't understand. How are you telling me to be positive? You just told me I have cancer. How am I supposed to deal with that? I just can't. I go to work and I see how people are living their normal life. They're laughing. I mean, you don't really know what people are going through.
True.
But I'm just there thinking I was just told I have cancer and people are here laughing and just living their life. That day from oncology, as I was waiting for the nurse to discharge me, there was one Nigerian lady sitting next to me. She had a friend. I think she was already a patient in the hospital. She got her results from the oncology, and I think she was cancer-free, and she was celebrating. And I'm there looking at her thinking,
like you're done and I'm just starting.
You are celebrating you're cancer-free, and I'm here. I have cancer. And it took me courage I was like, I need to speak to this lady. So I was like, hi, I'm sorry to interrupt. I just want to ask, like, what cancer did you undergo and all of that. And for her, it was even worse because it was for the internal organs. It was ovarian cancer, which
my
is
God,
even
reproductive.
Yeah.
And for a woman, half of your endocrine system is controlled by reproduction.
Exactly. And she did it. She made it. So I don't know. Maybe God made me
I
sit
believe that
there.
was not chance or choice.
Yeah.
It was all part of his master plan.
Part of his master plan.
He was
to
showing
show
you
me,
this is your ending.
Yes. Like, you might be beginning now, but
you are hitting me now, but trust me, I'm working. All things will work in your favor.
So I went for my chemo sessions, and it felt like it was gonna be 6 years because it was six of them every 3 weeks. The first session now, I honestly, even talking about it now, I cannot even explain how it was. The first week, I remember after the treatment, it used to take a whole day. I will go in the morning at 9 and I would leave at 5. The whole day, being on that bed, just fluids getting into your body. There was like 10 of them.
So are they using the podcast?
The podcast. It's easier instead of them
pricking syringes all the time.
Every time. So this is just easy. They put the needle and then the treatment just goes. So there's a tube that goes directly to your heart, and then it supplies the treatment. Let me talk about the side effects. So the first treatments, now I have to wait and experience the side effects that I was told I was going to experience. The number one was nausea.
During your 2 pregnancies, did you have nausea?
I did.
But this was nothing.
But this was like
nothing.
1,000,000,000,000 times. I cannot even explain to you. Even just thinking of it
You're
now.
having the chills. Ooh.
It was the worst. Having eaten or not eaten, it will just
haunt you.
Ugh.
It's reminding you.
When I think of it, I
know.
That's how I feel. You cannot eat. I remember one thing it did the first week, I got mouth ulcers. So your tongue would have like white stuff around it, and
that also impacts your breath.
Yeah, my tongue was purple.
Purple?
Yes, it was purple. Those are the things that I haven't really shared out there. I have shared part of my stories, but like the very internal raw parts I haven't really shared. The first 2 weeks, I was constantly having loose motion every single day, and it was every time I would wake up, every day I would wake up at 5. I would go to the toilet. Once I go once, I would go 5 times.
Jesus.
And it's like...
You have to go.
Yes. And I don't even know how I used to have stool because I couldn't eat.
You're not eating.
Yes. So I think it's the body emitting all that, the chemicals.
Yes.
Yeah, because chemo, what it does to you... Chemo destroys every single cell, good or bad. It destroys.
Flushing everything out.
It destroys.
For new cell regeneration.
The experience I had, that is a out-of-body experience, and it's something I would never, ever be able to explain to anybody. And I really do empathize with everyone who has to go through it, because it is a nightmare. It is a nightmare. My nails as well, they all turned black. My toenails.
So you literally feel like you're dying slowly.
Yeah.
And this is something that's supposed to be healing you.
Yes.
Your skin.
I was already like one of my friends, the mom had cancer, so she had already like told me the things that I might experience, and day by day I started experiencing these things. It was insane, but the worst of it all was losing my hair. You know, the day that I was diagnosed, that same day I called my salonist and I told her, I want you to come and braid my hair. So she came that same day, she braided. I think she left my house at 2 a.m. But I just didn't care because they told me I'm going to lose my hair. But the doctor was like, it doesn't happen to everybody. So I was like trying to like give myself hope that I'm not going to lose my hair. But so how I started losing my hair. Oh, I also used to get like twitching on my feet. Like I'm just randomly working and I feel like
pins and needles.
Yes, on my feet. My hair started falling on the third week. You know
is
how
after the first session,
because
it's
first session,
one session every 3 weeks.
Every 3 weeks, yeah.
Jesus, so you're thinking if this is the first session, Winey.
So I embraced my hair. I had my natural hair. So after braiding, I braided my my braids, and then I made cornrows. I was putting on a wig. I embraced my afro. But
And
now
for context,
after,
because I can see it up close, and forgive me for saying this in Swahili, Winnie has that soft walalo hair. Like her baby hairs are effortless.
Let me stop you there.
Okay, sorry. Sorry.
That walalo hair you're talking about only came after my treatment.
Really?
That was not my hair before. My hair before was kinky, like proper
thick
African kinky.
Foresee hair.
Yeah, I did have soft hair, like we call it nywele ya makamasi.
I was about to say that, but I was being polite.
Yeah, but it was not as it is now. It was very soft.
Because girl, your
and
edges
very
are
curly.
edging.
My God, see this. This is a miracle.
Hallelujah.
This is a miracle. Me
Hallelujah.
even having my hair right now, this is something
In
I didn't
braids,
even,
like the Nubian queen you are.
I didn't ever think I would get to this point. And this is when you see that nothing in life is permanent.
Amen.
Nothing is permanent.
Even life itself is not permanent.
Yes, it's not. You might be stuck where you are now, but believe you me, it's only for a period of time before you could get to the other side.
Thank you for saying that, because I am feeling stuck. Thank
Believe
you.
me.
Thank you.
It's just now.
Thank you.
You
Okay.
will.
So you were talking about your hair.
Yeah. As I was undoing my cornrows, I blow dried it so I can at least have it straight. So I want to have it kinky. I want to have it straight. So as I'm blow drying, I can see my hair falling. But I'm like, this is the same way when you go to the salon and
like
they blow dry.
you've pulled your hair.
That is me trying to
Console
deny
yourself.
Yeah, that no, my hair is not falling off. I go to work, I come back again the next day until now when I'm like, okay, let me start now embracing my FM wigs. Thank you for my wig.
FMG!
FMG, yeah.
It's her birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday. I'm one of your clients.
Oh.
So I said, let me embrace. And that is the one expensive wig I bought for myself.
Thank you.
I said, you know what?
Thank you. I don't have to look like my problems.
Yes. I said, let me go all out. So I started embracing my wig up until, like, you cannot keep the cornrows forever. You have to remove
At some
them.
point, they have to
Now
go.
it's time to undo my cornrows.
Winnie.
I would say Che. Che is the Che, Mama.
Hey.
Oh, God.
Hey.
The comb I was using, there's just hair. I think I even posted a video of that. And my hair is just falling. It's just falling. And I'm just going to say this. I'm sorry, but the people who are telling me it's okay, it's just your hair.
It's not just hair.
And it's not okay.
And it's not okay.
It is
Nobody
not okay.
signs up for fucking cancer.
Exactly.
Pardon my French.
It's okay, your hair will grow back. It's just hair.
No. Do you know how long it takes to grow it to that length?
Yeah. I mean, such people, I was just looking at them.
Some people can be very tone deaf.
Yeah.
I normally say if you really have nothing to say, sometimes encouragement can be silence.
But I just said, they just
They don't
have
get
an
it.
idea, so
True.
I'll just let them be.
True.
They just have no clue.
True.
It is not
Okay.
It is not okay. Having hair for all of my life, and then suddenly I'm losing my hair to not anything else but to cancer. It was not okay. So my hair was falling off. I remember my husband was home at that moment, and now I cannot say it's the hair from blow drying that's falling off. Like, this is really my hair falling off, to a point where, like, if I sleep, I'll wake up and I'll find hair on my pillow. Now I felt like I was dying, like literally dying as day goes by. I finished unbraiding my hair, and the amount of hair I came out with was like a chunk. And I started pulling just like this. Not even...
You're lying.
Not even
no
like...
effort.
Nope, just this. I told my husband, you know what? I think today is the day. They call it the brave shave. Brave the shave. It's better I do brave the shave than torment myself every single day watching my hair fall off.
True.
That was the worst moment of my life. Besides being told that I had cancer, is losing my hair. I remember my husband, when he was cutting it off, he tried to be so strong for me.
Yeah, but no.
But he also broke down.
There's only how strong you can be.
Yeah.
Everybody has a breaking point.
Yeah. And he also knew how I loved my hair. So
that
it
is
was
really a brave shave.
Difficult to accept that had to happen. And I remember as soon as he finished, I just went on the bed. I didn't even want to look in the mirror. I lied down and I covered myself on a blanket, and I was just there. Because I knew the moment I looked at myself in that mirror, that was a game changer. But eventually I had to.
And I can see the shape of your head. You can roll a bowl cut. You can. You can. But at that point, considering the love and the relationship and the nurturing and how your hair is your crown, you don't want to hear that.
And I had just like...
It's different when you cut your hair willingly.
Yeah, I had transformed from my what do you call it? My chemical hair.
Or to natural.
To natural
you had embraced your African queen.
And it was so grown. It was so long. It was even longer than how I had it when it was retouched. So I had to. My husband left. He went somewhere, and I'm just there alone. And I just had to find the strength and look at myself in the mirror. And the moment I looked at myself in the mirror, I saw cancer. Because cancer, you don't feel it, you see it. I saw the woman who was diagnosed with breast cancer. Because with hair, because honestly, I don't feel anything. I literally don't feel anything happening to my body. It is there. It is eating me up as days goes by. But now with my hair gone, that bald head, those people that I used to see on TV, now I'm seeing myself. And that is when I think I accepted that I had cancer.
Jesus.
Because all along I was embracing myself. I was still beautiful and all, but I just didn't recognize the person that I saw in that mirror.
That is when it bent you, because clearly it did not break you, Winnie. It did not break you.
And moving forward, now I just had to continue with treatments. It was not easy. People ask me how I managed to like go through all the treatments and everything. I cannot tell you.
No.
I can't.
There's no word in the dictionary to explain it.
I just don't know. Today, if like reflecting back, I just cannot tell you how I did it, but I did it.
You did.
I used to go to work, but one thing I used to do is I used to listen to my body, and this is the one thing that even in life in general,
Thank you.
need to
Please say
listen.
that again. Please say that again. You used to what?
To listen to my body. Listen to your
I normally tell people the body is the one house you live in your whole life.
It speaks to you.
It
your body
speaks
speaks
to
to
you.
you. And clearly we do know that. You have that instinct, but you
True.
just don't want to listen to it.
True. You
body,
ignore it.
Yeah, your body will tell you, you're tired, you can't do it.
Yeah.
Or this is how you feel.
Yeah. Say no. Stop drinking.
Yeah.
This is not good for you. Cut down your sugar.
Exactly.
Because when you give me excess sugar, I get high, then I get tired quickly. Give me water. The same way you feel thirsty and you know you want to drink water, your body will tell you.
It will.
Listen to your body.
It will always tell you. It will always. Just like even when you have headaches and you're like, I just have a headache. And then again, I have a headache, I'll take Panadol. But if it's something constant.
True. Your body is sending you a message.
Yeah, do something about it. Anyway, so I would go to work. My body used to react differently. One time I'm okay, one time I'm not. And I used to go through a lot of emotional breakdowns. But I had such amazing colleagues, and shout out to my colleagues. I would not have made it this far if it was not for you guys. You might not have any idea. I don't think they really do have an idea of the impact that they brought throughout my journey, because majority of the times is where I used to go to work. So I'm with them. And you don't really know how much you impact someone's life, be it just by saying a hello.
True.
How are you feeling today?
True.
Do you want a bottle of water? Is there anything I can do?
Oh,
that can change someone's life in so many ways.
True.
And these are the people that really contributed to me being here today. Away from my family back home, I have my husband who has been very supportive.
Oh,
and
bless
my kids,
his heart.
And my nanny.
I was gonna tell you how did you even manage putting a brave face before the children? Because I can imagine your little princess asking you, Mommy, what happened to your hair? And at that point, you don't even know.
I remember when I cut my hair, my son came, because we were doing it in my bathroom. And my son came. He was like, what's going on here? Is this a barber shop or what? And then later on, now he saw me, I'm bald. And he was like, Mommy, why do you look like an old grandma?
I'm sorry, but I have to say, it be your own kids. It be your own kids.
And I'm like, Mommy just wants to have a new haircut, but my hair will grow back. Like, poor kid, he doesn't understand.
I understand. Like, he's like he's just speaking his mind.
Yeah. And as difficult as it is, I just had to be. My other way of how I survived is you want to be present as a mom. You want to be present as a wife. These are monumental
stages.
You want to be present as a friend, as the person you are, but at that moment you're going through something that only you can take yourself out of it.
True.
So I really had to be selfish and take care of myself. As difficult as it was, I used to lock myself in my room and I could hear my kids knocking, Mommy, Mommy, but I'm in a state where they cannot see me, right?
True.
And I cannot show that face to them.
True. And you also don't want them to have memories of them seeing their mom crying all through their childhood, because then that manifests as trauma later.
Yeah. So I had to be selfish and take care of me, because then if I don't take care of me, who will be there to take care of them?
Hey God, hey,
that is one thing that my doctor even told me. You have kids, yes. Forget about your kids. Forget about everyone in your life at this moment, and think about yourself. Because if I didn't do that, I would not have survived. Wow. I would not have survived honestly speaking.
So what kept Winnie going when those moments that thoughts would creep in? And of course, no man is built on a endless supply of positivity. Those times when you felt the darkness overshadowing the hope,
Yeah.
what did you do to cheer yourself up, Winnie?
Like I said, I cannot even
I see
tell
some
you.
of your videos on, you're getting chemo, you're dancing with your
Yeah,
friends.
so that was one thing that kept me going actually for my chemo sessions, because if I'm to sit in that bed and listen to every drop of those fluids going into my body, that feeling is not the best. So me taking off my mind at what's happening in that moment and just redirecting it into this happy moment, that shifted a lot of things.
And also it lies to your body because you produce happy hormones.
Exactly.
And then the happy hormones also receive the medication differently.
Yes. I remember my nurse walking in one day because they give you this drug to like get you to sleep. But Winnie never slept.
Sleep for who?
Nurse will be like, Winnie, why are you still awake? I'm like, I don't know. Like I feel drowsy, but I just can't sleep.
Yeah.
But those sessions really did make a difference, and I'm forever grateful for my friend Aya.
I saw her on your story. I was going to ask you about her.
Yeah, she.
Aya, God bless you. This is coming from someone who does not know you, but I've seen your jolly videos on Winnie's Instagram, and I just wanted to take a moment to appreciate you for being a woman king, for not abandoning her, standing by her. And the most beautiful part is that you guys come from different parts of the world.
Exactly. Yeah. People don't understand. Some people ask me, how are you and Aya friends? Like, why can't we not be friends? Yeah. It's just the authenticity of someone.
Realness.
Yeah, the realness. The person being who they are and not judging, oh, you come from this background or I come from this background. It's just you meeting. We are all humans.
True.
Yeah, it's just you meeting and just crossing paths. And
the outside might be different, but the blood is the same.
Yeah.
God bless you, Aya, once again. God bless you beyond your wildest imagination.
I mean, there's so many people I could mention that have been there for me from day one to the end. And the one thing I can only say is thank you. There's no right words. There's nothing I could ever do to ever say how thankful I am, even for the ones who have prayed for me silently. Aww. Everybody who has walked with me through this journey.
Thank you. Okay. I don't even want to go into the radiation because already I don't think I have the capacity, sis. And to think this is me hearing it.
Yeah. I don't think I'll ever be able to narrate my whole journey, because if I do, it is a lot. It is a lot that has to be said.
Write that book, girl. Write that book.
You know, how I started sharing my stories, every time before I actually post something, I would go to my notes on my phone and I will just write everything down, like straight from my heart and how I feel. And that also really helped me. Yeah, that helped
Journaling
me. Yeah.
is therapy.
It is.
You know, sometimes even I don't have energy to pray, especially those times I've been naughty. So even when I sit, I'm like, God, I'm an orphan. So sometimes when I've been naughty and I pray and I'm like, my mom and my dad and God and Jesus are just looking at me like, really, Yvette, really?
Yeah.
So those moments where the guilt consumes me that I can't even bow before God, even though I know He's not judgmental, I write my prayers down.
Yeah, it's true.
And the beauty of coming back months later and you're like, I'm actually living my answered prayer.
Yeah. You'll go back and say, oh, I did write this down.
I did write this down and I'm living my answered prayer.
Now it's coming to life. Yeah. It's coming to life.
So you'd write your notes. Sorry, I interrupted you.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I would write them and I will put them out there. I don't even know what really drove me into putting out my story out there. I think it's just the fact that I'm a very open person.
Yes, I can tell. And you have a beautiful personality.
And thank you.
And very open, welcoming energy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
People don't understand how I'm able to talk and express everything that I went through, but I just find solace in that. And it gives me a peace of mind because I just genuinely meet people, and if we have that connection, I will just tell you my story without even having known you for the longest period of time. And that really helped me, like even telling my story before of how at work I talk to people, you connect, and there's just certain people that you just have this genuine connection. And I would end up telling them my story, and I will never forget this one guy. We were talking, and he was getting, I think, a phone for someone. And he told me that the daughters are outside of UAE or something, and how he started telling me how he lost a wife, and he lost a wife to cancer. And I could see how it was so emotional for him to even talk about it. And just to see how he was vulnerable with me made me to open up about what I was going through. At that moment, I was going through chemo, and I was like, would you believe that I'm actually battling breast cancer right now, and I'm actually doing chemotherapy? And he was in shock. And he was like, no. I was like, yes, I am battling cancer, and I'm going through my treatment as we speak. And we just had that, because he related. He lost a wife to cancer, and here I'm talking to someone who's going through cancer. And
you would not understand Winey, but in a weird way, that was probably closure for him.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it, but it's like from a third person seeing it outside, he probably needed to, and then God just kind of made the stars align.
Yeah.
And at that particular point, even that energy probably because as a man, sometimes it can be overwhelming.
It can.
And then unfortunately, because I've seen one of my friends go through it, and he dealt with the regret because at some point he was very confused about the process, and he buried himself in work. So he always has that guilt of maybe if I had, you know what I mean? And I see it with him. So maybe as a man, him saying that and you saying you're fighting just reassured him, like, you did your best. Yeah.
And he came later, I think 2 months after, but I was away from work for like 4 months, so he didn't find me. And then when I went back, this one time he just showed up, and I looked different because I think I had a different wig on, so he couldn't really recognize you. I was like,
Black girl magic.
Like, yeah, that's you.
Black girl
and
magic.
He just wanted to know how I was doing and how was everything. And by that time, I was already, I was done with treatment.
You
and
were
I was
in remission.
I was already cancer free. And he was he literally cried.
Oh.
And he's someone I don't know, someone I just met, but the difference and the impact it brought was
Humans of Dubai.
Yeah, it was just magical.
Aww.
And that's why I say there's power in speaking up about things.
A closed mouth doesn't get fed.
Yeah, I know it's not for everybody, and it's not the easiest things to talk about, but I feel like you can, even if you're not ready to talk it in public, you just need to find that one person.
Yeah, or not even in a person. Record yourself.
Exactly.
Look in the mirror.
Yeah.
Like, just talking is so powerful. I keep telling people the tongue is the smallest organ that can either make you or break you.
Exactly.
You either speak positivity or you speak destruction into your life. The choice is yours.
The tongue, especially what you manifest with your tongue. Believe you me, it will come to life.
Do you know, it's so funny, Winey. I always used to say, when I see like cute romantic videos online, I used to be like, God, when? What am I doing wrong? I used to be like, men are scam. I'd always focus on the toxic relationship content because I didn't have it. And then in January, my friend just said, stop. And I was like, why? It's just bans. It's on Instagram. He's like, you're conditioning your brain to accept that. So you cannot be telling yourself that you want one thing, but you're supporting the negative side of it.
Exactly.
It's like, instead of saying God when, say prepare me.
Prepare me.
To be a woman of valor.
Yeah.
Deserving of the man of my imagination.
Exactly.
And I stopped posting random crazy shit about men. There's always going to be a dichotomy of bad and good.
Yeah.
I focus to choose the good.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie to you, the quality of men that I have in my life right now, way different. way different.
I can imagine.
Like the other day, one of my close friends, I just shared with him. I was like, dude, you know, this happened in my life. Me and you are close. Like, fine, it's not a defined relationship or anything, but you know you're my guy, you
Yeah.
know? Why don't you even reach out to me just to ask me how I'm holding up? I don't want anything from you.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm planting a seed to ask you for money or anything, but just a little care and concern.
Yeah.
And it was like, but you know, Yvette, I was raised by an officer and a general, an army guy. I don't have emotional intelligence. Like, I'm just learning this shit right now. And I'll try to do better. I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings. And many years ago, I dated a guy who, to apologize, really, it was like pulling teeth. I had higher chances of seeing the Pope. So when this guy apologized for something that technically was not a mistake,
like,
it was just
what
me.
is happening?
I was like, excuse me, I'm not used to this. How do I
know.
receive this?
I know.
I
Did
was
you just
shocked.
apologize?
I was like, did exactly what you've said. Did you just apologize? It's not like you've wronged me willingly.
Yeah.
And you've apologized. And before I had someone who would wrong me and know they've wronged me, but still never apologize.
Yeah.
So the tongue, I hear you.
Yeah. And how I know that is I still posted a clip of a video I took. That was before I was diagnosed with cancer. And, you know, when you say it, you don't actually realize it because you're just used to just saying it. I was out with my kids and my nanny, and I had this new FMG wigs. And you know how when it's still new, it's so tight on you?
Yes.
It was so painful. And I had this very shabby cornrows. And I was telling my nanny, you know what, I can't do this anymore. I have to remove this wig.
Yeah.
So I removed it in public, and I didn't care because the amount of pain I felt.
Yeah, before the band stretches.
Exactly.
But next time, just send it back to her. She'll adjust it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I removed it, and then I was checking myself here on my phone. I was like, I just said it randomly. Oh my God, I said in Swahili, nakaa mtu ako na ugonjwa. Meaning in English, I look like someone who has a disease. Yvette. 1 month later.
1 month.
1 month later, I was diagnosed with cancer.
1 month.
1 month later, because this was May, June. And how I came to realize it is a year later. You know how on iPhones it will remind you.
The memories.
So I open up like, oh, look at this day I removed. Then I listened to myself.
Jehovah,
like Winey,
Baba God.
You said you look like someone with a disease, and a month later, you had cancer.
If this is not evidence enough of the power of the tongue,
I don't know what is.
Thank you.
I don't know what is.
Thank you. You've said it.
Oh my God.
You have said it.
And like I said, when I was saying it, I was just
casual banter.
Yeah. Laughing. I look like someone with. Oh my God.
Where?
Like even when you're wishing someone something and you might be saying it jokingly.
The tongue doesn't register. You've said it.
Just. I don't even know what to say. Just be mindful. Before you say something, just be mindful what you say.
That's the word.
Because like you said, also the tongue either breaks you or makes you.
Facts.
So now every time, like with my whole journey, how I started embracing like what I was going through. I mean, I had to see, are we conscious of time?
Slightly.
Yeah. Okay. I had to see what I was going through and how I had to overcome everything. And I just had to come to terms of Winey. You have everything you need. You have treatments. You have best doctors in UAE. I have it all covered.
Healthcare insurance.
Let me tell you something. Having the finances fully covered.
Speak on it. Speak on it.
That was the one thing that was questioning me, like, Winey, why would you not survive this?
Come on.
Why?
How?
Tell me why.
Why?
You have everything.
As a matter of factly, why?
Why? You have everything. I had those moments where I was questioning, I can't do this. But
it's normal.
And I have most of the chemo sessions that I have seen people doing is you're seated somewhere in a chair and there's like a lot of you. But I mean, I had my own room, my own bed. I'm in my room. I have.
And in a very top tier institution, if I may say.
I cannot.
If you want to find out, go to our Instagram. A word is enough for the wise.
I cannot even, like, I didn't have a reason not to survive.
You did it.
I did.
Let's fast forward a little bit. I want to come to the point where now the doctor said, girl, you did it.
Oh, my goodness.
Walk me through that.
That was after I did my mastectomy, which was also a very difficult decision that I had to make.
Oh God.
Like I said, if I talk about my journey, it's a whole lot of things I have to talk about. The part of me deciding whether I had to get rid of both of my breasts or just one, that was not the easiest decision to make. As a woman, you're losing a part of you.
Your femininity.
Your femininity. It was not an easy decision to make. Just to put it out there, I got rid of both and I went through reconstruction. I have another surgery coming up too. So
do you see how blessed you are? Like we're even living in an era where reconstruction is an option.
It's an option.
Girl, you even get them to have nice and perky. Sorry, I just had to go there. Apologize.
It's okay. I do really get you because my manager at work one time told me, "Go, girl, get it."
Yes.
I'm here looking like Nicki Minaj.
Hello.
And I'm like, come on.
The backstory, please. Please, let's not discount how we got here.
Yeah. That moment, I can't. It's after the surgery and looking at myself coming from it, I honestly, I can never find words for that. But me going back, because they had to remove a lot of, what do you call them? They removed 16 lymph nodes, which most of them were affected. So they had to get rid of every little lymph node that had the cancer cell. It's quite challenging. Even up to now, I still have challenges with
moving your arms.
moving my arm and everything.
Because the lymph nodes, even sometimes, like when the bra presses too much,
Yeah.
sis, I'll be in there touching myself, like Google how to test for lumps, how to do this. Girl, I know what you mean. There was a time even in the gym, I actually hurt myself, and they were like, stop upper body, for now, because I strained a nerve next to the lymph nodes, and like this hand, I was just having like twitches, or it doesn't move at all.
Yeah, and the removal of lymph nodes can cause lymphedema, which like numbs your complete hand, and it completely stops to function. So it's also
like every treatment you think like I'm taking one step, that like, but there's a risk.
Yeah,
but there's a risk.
Every single thing.
Oh my goodness,
it's a roller coaster.
How's your resilience right now? Because I can imagine what shakes you now, Winey.
Nothing.
Oh, thank you.
Let me tell you. Someone asked me, Winnie, if you're to take back your cancer journey, would you? And I said no. They look at me like I'm crazy. Like, Winnie. It's like, no. Cancer has shifted my whole perspective.
You're not the same person you were.
I was not. This Winnie sitting here is not the same Winnie a year ago.
It's not the pandemic Winnie.
Nope.
Who thought unemployment and being 50 salary and the visa issue was like the world falling apart.
Not. I still don't believe myself because growing up, I was even my mom said it, I was a coward. Let me put it that way. I was a coward.
No, you're not a coward. You're dainty. You're very delicate. You're soft. You know, you like you give me like Naomi Campbell vibes, like tall, elegant, very,
back then, I was naive. I was...
Au kwa kimbelembele kama mimi?
No.
Mi nilikuwa kimenyi, fast body. Way.
Oh no, I was and I'm still the calm person that I am, but the person that I am today, I'm grateful for my cancer journey because it has made me see and realize the important things in life. And one thing I would just tell everybody is you just need to be happy. Happiness is key.
And happiness is free.
And it's free, completely free.
Imagine it's free.
It's free.
Kabisa,
100% free. I have learned to let go of situations that I have absolutely no control over. Focus on the things that you have control on.
I'm going to teach you one more of my mantras. Allow me to share. I always say, whenever I find myself between a rock and a hard place, ask myself two questions. Yvette, is this an AUC or an ABC? AUC for me is areas under my control. ABC is areas beyond my control.
There you go.
If it's beyond my control, what can I do about it?
Exactly.
I'm sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yep.
Yeah.
We move.
I mean, life is very simple. You just need to be happy.
That's it.
You just need to be happy. And moving back to why we're here today is I would just like to urge every single person, not only women, we need to really listen to our bodies and respond according to what your body is telling you to. You find yourself in situations and you don't really know how to act.
True.
But you are the only person who has control over what you are going through.
True. Nobody's coming to save you.
Nobody.
You have to save yourself.
You will have people there to give you advice and to support you and
it's always easier outside in.
Yeah.
Always.
But in the end, when you go back home, it's you and yourself. You are your only support. You are your only, how to say it? You are your only backbone. You will have, yes, I even tell my husband, he is there to support me in everything. But at the end, I'm the only one who will take myself out in a situation. It's either I want to be in that situation.
One who felt the medicine going through you.
Yes.
Seeing what it did to you. They get to, you experienced it, then they saw it. You did both.
You did both.
And that goes, and I'm sorry to deviate a little bit, and forgive me for this. It's not to dilute the value of what we're saying. Even in business, you can be having, like, I was talking to one girl the other day. She's like, oh, but I only sell crochet things. And how do I make this content look pretty? I'm like, you will figure it out.
Yeah.
Sell your market. Nobody will do it for you.
Exactly. It's only you.
It's only you. And above all, for these people who feel like they're in that stage where, you're trying to fit in a friend clique because it looks nice for Instagram or everything. I always tell them, remember your visit visa, your Emirates ID, your passport, your residency visa. It does not say Yvette and Winey. It says Winey Kariuki Fuya and it says Yvette Kikuyu.
Yep.
Your individuality will always be the root of your being.
Yeah, very true. And yeah, so it being October, I just want to just bring the awareness of, and break the stigma of I'm this much old, or there's no history in my family. Or
that part.
Yeah, we need to break that, and we need to just empower each other into, you never know, you could be the person who would start the whole cancer.
True.
In the family.
You could be what someone needs to hear.
Yes.
To know that, so this pain I've been feeling on my left side.
Yeah.
And then in the long run, it might feel like it's a death sentence, but then they now come back and say, Winnie, if I had not watched your podcast, maybe I would have never gone for that mammogram.
Also, some of them are silent. Like, you might not know it. It's just they're eating you up. Like, before I found out that I had cancer, I was already stage 1, and I was living my normal life, not knowing what was happening to me. God forbid if I didn't know. Now I could be maybe
I reject it for you.
I
reject it for your past, your present, and your future.
Yeah. So for you to know, you have to go and get the screenings done with or without symptoms.
And now it's free.
Exactly. There's a lot of...
instead of going to brunch and drinking and doing mani-pedis.
And I say this, if you can take that phone call and book an appointment for your nails or for your hair or for a restaurant or what, why can't you book it and do you? Because you're doing it for you.
Correct. So you want to package your breast to look nice in that dress.
Yeah.
But you don't want to go and actually see if the package is actually fresh and if they're okay inside.
True.
I'm sorry to put it that way, but
it's not the easiest process, because I've had people coming to me, Winnie, I called, they told me come this week, or it's full. Just don't give up. Remember, you're doing it for yourself.
True.
And once you do it, there's just that heavy weight off your shoulders that you feel knowing that I've actually done it. And not only around breast cancer, it's best to do a full body check for every human being. At least do a full body check every year.
In Africa, it's associated with old people.
No.
You only see, like, I see a lot of my friends, my dad is coming for a full body check. My mom is coming for
that has to
Some
be
people have not
broken.
even had a blood test. I spoke to a 37-year-old who's never had a pap smear.
No way.
Wallahi, Winnie. I almost died. I said, what?
And in a way, I do get and understand people, because before this whole journey and what I've experienced, I used to be the same. I would sit, like, I'm sure now there's people who will watch this podcast you just watch, listen, and that's it. But what do you actually do what do you actually do after that? What do you learn from it? Do you just watch and just continue with your life, or do you learn that, okay, I really need to go and do this yearly check, so I need to tell my sister or my mother or my brother or whoever it is that, or just come together as a group. If you don't want to go by yourself, go as a group, go together if you feel scared, but you have nothing to be scared of.
It's actually a good test for your community.
Yeah.
True.
Go together, do it. It's not going to, at the end of the day, you're doing it for
we're
you.
insured here in Dubai. What's your excuse?
And even if you're not insured right now, there's a lot of campaigns that are happening all over the world. Wherever you are, wherever you're watching from, I'm sure there is a lot of campaigns offering all these free services for screenings. Please go and get yourself checked. Please. That's all I can say. Save a life. Save your life.
Prevention is better than
Prevention is better than cure. And the earlier it's detected, the easier it is to get it
from what you've said, it's definitely not easy. But I can imagine if this is easy, what is worse?
Yeah.
Wow.
Worse, what I know is worse is the act of not knowing. You know, when even up until now, when I go for my my scans and everything, I usually get a lot of anxiety. Because I don't know what that test will come. I want to be optimistic.
Are you in therapy for that?
I am going to start.
Yeah, I can recommend a couple of facilities.
Yeah.
I have 2 good doctors.
Yeah.
I worked in healthcare, so I'm very conversant with the healthcare landscape. Yeah.
So there's a lot of what was I saying?
Yeah.
People will be asking me like, why are you feeling this way? It's the act of not knowing what is awaiting you, because just thinking of how I went to see my doctor, not knowing
you said you were on live just having fun,
break
and even when
news.
they said biopsy and all that, you were like, okay, you didn't know.
Exactly. So now knowing that I have experienced that before and I have to go through this scan, not knowing, I'm afraid of, I'm gonna be honest, I'm afraid of a relapse because I'm still at risk up until I'm done with the 5 years of remission. Then I'm still at risk. There's a doctor told me there's an 85 to 90% chance the cancer might come back, but I'm on hormone therapy that helps
mitigate that.
Yeah, but still, it's not an easy. People think that, oh, you're done with treatment, you're done with surgery and everything, and now you should be fine, you're normal. I thought everything is done, but
it's lifestyle.
The healing part is not also easy. You see me out there living my life, I'm happy, but getting myself back together and getting there is not easy. It's still a lot that I have to deal with. My body is still recovering from a lot of trauma.
Thank you.
And it just doesn't...
Overnight?
It doesn't. And as much as I'm really trying to go out there and live my life, I'm still struggling.
You have to be gentle on yourself.
Yeah, you have to be gentle. Just taking it a day at a time. But I know I'm going to get there.
Girl, you ain't got no choice.
Now, I have there's this motto. There's one lady that I used to follow on Instagram. She was battling breast cancer stage 4 and sadly she passed away.
May she rest in power.
She was a gem. She helped me go through all these challenges.
Thank God for social media.
Yeah, and her motto was go grab life.
Go grab life. I'm going to use that now.
And that is my motto going forward. I'm just going to go and grab life. No matter what. You will go through a challenge.
Winey, and I'm not saying this to discount what you went through. There's someone who woke up today and probably just fell down.
Yeah.
No pre-underlying conditions, no nothing. There's someone who just went to bed last night, happy, had fun with the family dinner and everything, did not wake up. There's someone, motor accidents, it kills more people than drugs does.
And you know what also... what happened, like when I was doing my treatments, there's a lot of, the earthquakes that happened in Turkey.
Thank you.
We're sitting here, we're talking.
Yeah.
Yvette. Just like that.
Remember the explosion in Lebanon?
Exactly. Just like that. You don't know
Nobody
what
knows.
The next minute holds.
Nobody knows.
You don't know. Life is absolutely unpredictable. So
very fickle.
Live in that moment and just be happy. I don't know. That is what I want for myself. I'm omitting myself from any negativity. If I'm around a place and I feel that
your energy is off,
I'm just gonna unapologetically just walk away.
Out.
You wanna judge me, fine, but I just cannot be in that
space
era anymore. Having seen death with my own 2 eyes, I cannot. I literally dodged a bullet. I dodged
a grenade.
Yes. But God was my bulletproof vest. He was.
Hallelujah.
I have seen him work wonders in my life. And I'm very grateful also because my faith in him has now become
Tripled.
stronger
True.
than it was before. And I just want to be happy.
You know, they say he doesn't call the capable. He makes the calling capable.
Wow, that's a good saying.
So go ye, continue preaching from one Kenyan sister to the other. My platform is open to you. Whenever you feel like if I have something to say, just let me know.
I will.
We can always arrange this. In fact, I'm planning to start another segment of the podcast where it's just like girls banter, where people send me their Dubai dilemmas, because now my DM has become more like a helpline. Good. Yvette, my boyfriend did this to me. Like so it's just like banter, good vibes.
Yeah.
And within that, there's always also going to be a dose of reality, because everybody has a story.
Everybody has a story to tell.
My door is always open, Winey.
I'm really, really grateful that you gave me this opportunity to
No,
come
I should be
here
grateful to you.
and be vulnerable. Like there's just a lot that I could say. It's just 1 year, but the amount of things that have happened in
feels
that
a
1
lot.
year, it is a lot, and I can never finish if I start talking about
How's
it.
your sister?
She's good.
She's still in Dubai, right?
Don't know. She moved back to the US.
Oh, nice. Okay, all right,
It
nice.
was difficult for them not being here with me. But
what born are you in your family? Like how many kids?
we're
are
only
you?
2 of us.
Oh, cute.
Yeah,
So you're the last born?
Yeah, we had the last born, a son, but he passed away just when he was born.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's just me and my sister.
Oh, bless.
Yeah.
Bless. Girl, keep glowing. Keep
Thank
growing.
you.
And in the words of Winnie Fuya, do what?
Go grab life.
Yes! It's a wrap, everybody. Stay true, stay you. And if you want to find Winnie, where do we find you on IG?
What's my username? Winnie Fuya.
Yes, we're going to put it on the screen right next to her pretty face, so you can go and find her there, find all the inspiration, and above all, don't let what she has shared today land on deaf ears.
Yes, please.
Part of grabbing life is embracing those tough steps, and it's the sooner, as she said, if it's detected early, then you can live to be a testimony as well. Oh, who knows? You could just get a clean bill of health, which is another reason to celebrate. And that is another reason to go grab life. Bye, guys.
Much love.
Bye. Mwah.